What's going on, everybody? This is masterguil, and welcome back to more Adastra. In the last episode, the second trial came and went. Amicus and Cassius did their little speech. Amicus ends up winning the second trial. We actually went out into Adastra City, well, bits and parts of it to go to look around and have a little tour. And Amicus saying hi to everyone in there, because apparently they're a shoo-in to become the next emperor. And we went to this restaurant to have a nice dinner. Marco ended up getting sick, and now we're being rushed back to the palace because of something that's happened. I personally think that we got poisoned in some way, shape, or form. The food that we ate on our portion was poisoned. Either that or the food that was served there is vastly different than what we're used to at the palace, which shouldn't be all that different considering it might just be the same that we were eating at the palace. So I think that the food that we were served was poisoned, and so now we're being escorted back, being taken back to the palace somewhere to get all healed up. So we're jumping right back into it. So without further ado, let's get into it. I feel my body bouncing up and down, thrown left and right. It's like I'm in some kind of demented thrill ride. I reach out into the darkness to stop it somehow, but all I feel is something furry and warm. Everything hurts and itches at the same time. What is this? Marco? Hey, stay with me. I'm here. Who? I force my eyes to open, even though they burn so much. Oh, God, we're back in the forest. No, no, no. I don't like this forest. It's so eerie. I stare up at the gnarled things above me, and I wonder what they are. All that comes to mind are bony, skinless hands reaching up to the sky. Can you hear me? There's a breathless, wheezing voice above me as the horrible bouncing ride continues. I just want to sleep. There's another sound, an odd droning one, and the earthquake finally stops. Amicus, get in, you fool! Neferu, he's having seizures. He has What? Postals? Ew. Neferu, he's having seizures. He has postals all over his body. The voice above me sobs and gasps as I want to reach up and put a hand over its mouth so that it's quiet, so that I can sleep. Calm yourself. Virginia's having a physician flown into the palace. You need to. Everything mercifully goes quiet again. I float through a void of quiet, soft black clouds that tickle and nip at my skin. It itches, and I want to itch, but something seems to be holding me down. Hey, yo, we're back home? I open my eyes slowly, staring up at the ceiling. I'm starting to get really annoyed that I just can't fall asleep. I have so much to do tomorrow. We're going on a trip to Naples, and I tried to authenticate Italian pizza. I'm going to have a terrible time if I don't get it at least a little. I realize that I can't move. Icy fear grips my chest, and at the same time I see something large scudding up the wall. A giant spider skitters upwards, its movement off, like it's a puppet being pulled by its strings. It moves across the ceiling, and even though it's the size of a giant crab, I can't move at all. Adastrian arachnids are disturbingly large. I grit my teeth as it comes to a stop above my head, then falls straight onto my face, legs fan out. Get off! I shove at the things pressing at my face. I told you to hold him down! I'm trying! Marco, listen to me. You're safe. We're helping you. I focus on the monsters above me, their massive white teeth and red glowing eyes. Their horrible hands come down to press on me, and I feel the pricking pain all over my skin. I thrash around, but it's no use. They're too strong. Ugh, he's having another seizure. I lean against the side of a building on an empty road. Oh man, Marco is really going through it. This is crazy. The night is peaceful and quiet. Mostly quiet. I hear clopping sounds in the distance. Galloping sounds. Oh no, it's the headless horseman. It's coming. I frown and lean forward a bit, looking up the dark road. I see a horse running towards me. Its eyes glow red and spit flies from his mouth. Afraid, I press myself closer to the building, but the horse ignores me. Instead, as it runs past me, I see that it's dragging something. A wolf's headless body, the arms spread out, the stump leaving a long red streak across the cobblestones. Open my mouth to scream. We have nothing on record for his species. Then profile him. Is there a reason why we don't? Just heal him. Please. It's just aviapox. Well, clearly it has a different effect on his species. His nervous system is already damaged beyond repair. You should consider. What in the gods? Things never seem to go as planned, do they? I am sorry you had to experience this. I did not foresee it. Who are you? Is this Hades? Are you Hades? I don't know why Hades came to my mind, but it's probably because of the hair or the fire going on top of its head. Do not worry. You are still on the correct course. You will be you will be able to complete this task. I just need a little time. Understand that this will not be easy, even for the parents. The pain will be temporary. What's happening? You will know in time, but not yet. Had a vision, a meeting, an encounter. But of what? Of who? Time loses meaning. Blackness, simultaneously eternal and non existent. Nightmares ebb and flow, building and fading. Scenes from my earliest childhood to my landing on Adastra, all warped by horrific and violent imagery that never happened. But as soon as each one ends, I forget, just like any other dream. Except one. I'm huddled in the seat of the ship, freezing cold, numb with desperation and the fear of impending death. How is this happening to me? What did I do to deserve this? I glance back at the crumpled form of the wolf in the back of the ship. His head is framed by a pool of blood, the metal pipe just a few feet away where I dropped it. I've made a huge mistake. The anger and terror I've been feeling over the past several hours, days, weeks, builds until I scream and smash both my fists onto the glowing panels in front of me. The next thing I know, light blasts the interior of the ship, and I cover my face with my hands. Still, the light pierces through, and I see blood red. The ship vibrates violently, and I know right away that we're being pulled into it. I reach out despite the impossible light, uselessly pounding at the unresponsive panels. After a few moments, the brightness and heat becomes unbearable, and I finally throw myself to the floor, crawling away, crawling towards my wolf. Amicus! Help! But the light continues to grow, and soon everything is lit up in a blinding white, the heat so intense that the metal melts underneath my hands and knees. I'm on fire. I am fire. I feel lines of molten lead course from the base of my neck, down my spine, branching out into my limbs, even my toes and fingers. I can only float in the inferno, dumbly wondering why I still feel if I'm dead, wondering if this is death, and the ship, the wolf, and I have become part of the star. Once again, time is lost, and I only exist as fire. 2 moons. I stare up at the sky. The air suddenly cools as I try to comprehend the sudden change from the harsh, all-consuming starlight to the gentle, cold moonlight. Still, fire continues to lance through my head, neck, spine, and limbs in agonizing lines, my body mapped as a tortured stick figure. It hurts. Hurts more than anything I've ever imagined. But it's fading after what happened in the star, so I try to relax in the sand. After a few minutes, I realize that I can hear the waves, and I can feel something drawing me toward the water. I'm a little scared of getting up, of any movement at all, terrified that it might trigger the pain anew, but it doesn't. It almost feels like I'm not moving at all. I glide toward the water, watching the surface reflect the bright planet and moon in hypnotic ripples. Entering the lake and feeling the cold, gentle water wash over my skin is the best feeling I've ever felt. It envelops me slowly, moving up my legs, torso, and finally my head, and just like that, the pain and fire is chased away, subdued into a dull, tingly throb. I gasp in relief, somehow able to breathe under the water. I drift through the dark water, watching the globes of light dance and sway above me before I finally resurface. It's only then that I remember Amicus. Fear grips me. Was he still on that ship? Did I leave him behind in the star? I look up and see the lights glittering in the front of the palace, and I begin to swim towards it, somehow moving much faster than I should be able to. Instead of swimming to the beach, though, I end up moving toward the balcony, straight into Amicus's room. As I get closer, I realize that someone is on the balcony. It's Amicus, and my heart fills with relief. He's got his back to the railing, leaning against it casually. Even though I can only see him from behind, I realize that it's not the Amicus I know. Instead, he's in full robes, and he's a lot more skinny than I remember. I slow down, wondering why he's not looking at me when all the splashing noises I'm making. Just as I'm about to call out to him, though, I see brown arms wrap around him, smoothing over his arms and back, and that's when Amicus turns to the side. I see now that those arms belong to another wolf, smaller and brown furred, one that I've never seen before. Amicus is doing the same to him, paws moving around his body in a way that's awkward and hesitant, a pair of young lovers making out for the first time. I watch, suddenly feeling embarrassed. I'm back in Amicus' room, and that same teen excuse me, that same teenage wolf is now on the sofa, bent over, hiding his face behind his paws. What? What? I'd never seen Amicus really cry, but I could tell that's what he's doing now. I feel a sense of complete and utter shame, the feeling that you've let everyone down. It consumes me. I reach out toward the young wolf, wanting to comfort him, wondering if he'll ever, wondering if he'll even know who I am. Suddenly, I'm sucked back into the cosmos. There is no parent this time. Instead, I float peacefully through the vacuum, staring down at what I assume is Adastra. Even though there isn't anyone here with me, I sense all beings around me. I also get a sense of approval, like the work is done. Finish Mira's work, young human. Just like that, I start to drift back down toward the moon, descending faster and faster until everything becomes a blur. That was a very interesting trip that we just had. So not only was Marco hallucinating, but it seems like he had an out of body experience. That kind of reminds me of Doctor Strange. This time coming to feels real, and I immediately know I'm not in a dream. I smell lavender. Amicus? I feel like they're glued shut, and I have to rub them to get them to fully open. The first thing I see is the sky, the planet Anchorus, and the moon Torque, both of them glowing brightly. I stare at the two floating orbs for a while, waiting for things to fall into place as to why I'm out here. I'm laying on something hard, like concrete, and I feel soft but weighty things on my chest. My hands are curled around it, and I lift it slowly to have a look, even though it feels like a 50-pound dumbbell. Flowers. Flowers with a fair bit of lavender mixed in. Slowly I turn my head, and again I get the feeling of heavy weights attached to my body. I somehow manage it and immediately see that I'm in the amphitheater. This scene does not match the amphitheater. At the same time, I see more flowers and I realize that they are arranged all around me in a circle. This is either. Oh, they thought he died. I see. Moving my head around also makes me realize that there's something scratchy and prickly on my head. Still struggling with my heavy hand, I reach up and grab at it. I lift it from my head and hold it in front of my face. My eyes taking a few moments to focus to find out that it's a wreath, pink flowers woven into the twigs. I finally drop my arm to the side, getting too tired to hold it up, and I watch it lazily roll a few feet away. The movement sends a wave of tingling through my body, but it fades quickly. The heavy weakness is also starting to fade, but I'm more worried about how I got here and why I'm covered in flowers. From what I can tell, I'm in the gardens, though a part of it I haven't been to before. I close my eyes, trying to remember how I got here. Amicus, the trail of rhetoric, the restaurant, being sick. Again, I lift my arm, though it's easier this time, and I look at the skin. It's covered in crusty, yellowish scabs, though they don't hurt. Ugh. I don't know why, but I get the feeling that the skin underneath is completely healed. I try to think again. I do remember throwing up on Cassius, but after that, just terrible dreams. Did they heal me somehow? Is this flower thing part of it? I'm feeling some of my strength returning, so I force myself into a sitting position, joints popping and muscles stiff. Still, with every movement, things get easier. I do get lightheaded, though, and I have to sit there for a moment, looking around again, wondering where Amicus is. He sounded so desperate and sad the last time I heard him. I need to show him that I'm okay now. At least, I think I am. I slowly push myself up, listening to the gunshot cracks on my knees, as if I haven't used them for days. I stand unsteadily in the center of the square, looking around at the center of flowers. I'm startled when I turn to see a wolf behind me, but it's just a sculpture. A male wolf decked out in armor, both his paws raised to the sky. He's got a bunch of flowers weaved around his wrist and on his head, too. I wait a few moments, listening for anyone that might be nearby. All I hear are the insects around me. So, I start to move toward the path that I know leads to the palace. Although I'm pretty sure I'm not dreaming now, this eerie scenario has me questioning that. The whole situation is surreal. All the things that I remember happening last feel so distant. Despite spending all of my time on Adastra trying to be covert, I find myself longing to find someone. Anyone, really. I just need to know what's happened. And pretty soon, I do find someone. His back is to me, stooped over, fur almost ghostly in the glow of the garden lights. The cat busies himself with the flowers, a pair of metal clippers in his paws. As I get closer, I can hear him humming just above the noises of his busy snipping. I'm just opening my mouth when I see his ears perk. Cass? You know I don't like these games. Alex turns to face me, a knowing smile on his lips. That quickly disappears the second he sees me, though, replaced by a look of complete shock. Ah! Whatever he was trying to say doesn't seem to want to come out, and instead he just stands there, gaping at me. Hey. I can barely talk, my voice rasping out like sandpaper on wood. I take a step forward, and that's when Alex finally reacts, jumping almost a foot in the air in backwards motion, putting space between us as he yelps. What? 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 How? He stutters and stumbles over his words. I've seen Alex fluster before, but never like this. There's real fear in his eyes, and he stumbles against some bushes. I wonder if he's just going to take off running, but instead he stands there, quivering as he holds the clippers in front of his chest, as if contemplating using them as a weapon. I raise my hands reassuringly. Hey, Alex, it's me. I cough a few times, trying to clear my throat. I see Alex's ears twitch at the sound as he slowly lowers the clippers, though he moves to the side away from the bush, giving him a clear path to the palace. Marco? But how? He's staring at me like what he's seeing is impossible. How what? I'm regaining my voice slowly but surely. What's happening? Alex finally seems to get a hold of himself, first slowly laying flat again as he eyes me, looking almost suspicious. I could ask you the same thing. This catches me off guard. Why? Well, Alex looks around before focusing on me again, tilting his head as if to look at me from a different angle. You were dead. Dead? Well, not completely, but you were in a coma, and we were told you would not wake from. Oh. I look down on myself as if to confirm that I am indeed alive and well. Aside from the patchy scabs all over my arms and legs, I feel okay, aside from the grogginess. I thought the doctor healed me. Alex's ears perk. Doctor? I think there was a doctor. I heard him when I was brought back here. Alex's eyes narrow. Amicus told us you were vegetative before he arrived. How did you hear him? I don't know. I might have dreamed it. I was really out of it. If you were still conscious when he arrived, he should have been able to halt the damage caused by the virus. Who was the doctor? With every passing second, I regain more and more of my wits, and Alex's demeanor is confusing me. He thought I was dead, and instead of being happy, I feel like he's interrogating me. That's also when I realize something else. Wait, you all think I'm dead? Well, not me anymore, obviously. This is all very strange. How did you survive, actually? Now the cat is starting to annoy me, and I look past him towards the palace, the situation finally dawning on me. Where's Amicus? The cat is quiet for a moment, as if contemplating something, then quirks his head. I'm not sure. He's been here and there, though I haven't seen him for at least a day. I walk past the cat, toward the palace, realizing what sort of state the wolf might be in. Okay, yeah. No, I'm just realizing that what if Alex was the one that poisoned our food? Like, are you seriously trying to kill us? This is no. And plus, he was the one that told the triumvirates that Cassius is trying to get rid of them when he becomes emperor. So, of course, we're not taking what he says to face value. Again, do not trust this cat. Where are you going? I'm very happy to see that you're well. This is all just very sudden and unexpected. I ignore Alex, not really in the mood to figure out why he's acting the way he is. He's making me feel like I'm still dreaming. So I walk away. So I walk quickly, and I'm relieved that he doesn't follow me. The wave of cool air that hits me as I enter the palace is a welcome feeling, and I find myself grateful to be back. Despite having apparently been here the whole time, it really does feel like I've been away for weeks. I pick up the pace and I head toward Amicus' room, practically jogging. I have to let him know that I'm okay. The short distance to his room seems like it takes longer than ever as before, and I'm glad that I don't run into anyone else on the way. That interaction with Alex was weird, and I don't need a repeat of that right now. I finally make it to his door and immediately hear muffled chattering behind it. I don't hesitate though, and I press my hand to the panel. The door slides open, and instead of the usual blast of even colder air I would often get from Amicus' room, it's stuffy, warm, and it smelled a little bit musky. The lights are dim, and my heart sinks when I see an empty bed. I linger in the doorway, though, something feeling off. The droning chatter is calm, giving what sounds like a monologue on the history of some past emperor. I see wine bottles, too, mostly bunched together on top of the bedside table, but there are also a few laying here and there on the floor. Amicus? I call out, starting to become afraid of what I might find. I take a few attentive steps into the room, and then I hear a loud snore, and instantly the worry gripping my chest starts to release. I recognize that sound anywhere. I hurry over to the side of the bed where I find my wolf splayed out on the floor, a wine bottle next to his head, only in his underwear. He's clearly asleep, or passed out, muzzle hanging wide open as another thunderous snore shakes the floor. Amicus! I crouch next to him, resting a hand on his chest, trying to shake him awake. His only response is a few more broken snorts before drooling out the side of his muzzle. I switch to patting his face, then grabbing his muzzle and shaking it around, noticing how crusty the fur is, something I never felt on Amicus before. Amicus! I consider slapping him like I've seen people do in the movies. Then I see the bottle next to his head and decide to go for another approach. I snatch it up and hurry to the bathroom. I hold the bottle over the faucet for a good 5 seconds, letting it fill up with soapy water to the halfway point before I hurry back out into the room. Meanwhile, Calm doesn't seem to notice me, droning on about how this particular emperor was known for having a fondness of orchids. Of orchids, excuse me. I crouch down next to Animus again, hesitating for a second as I wonder if maybe I should call Cato. Probably not Cato. Please don't. Nephru, maybe, just in case Amicus is actually in trouble. I don't know how much a wolf can drink before it can kill them, but the sheer amount of bottles laying around the room worries me. I decide to just go ahead with my plan, and I uphead the bottle over Amicus's face. It pours directly onto his nose, and he immediately chokes, turning his head this way and that to avoid the stream of bubbly water. I have a moment to wonder if I'm drowning him. If drowning him is the best approach before he suddenly sits up, pulling at his face. Ugh! The wolf covers his eyes, and it's only then that I realize how irritating the soap might be for them. Oh, crap! Sorry! Should I get some water from the shower so you can rinse your eyes out? Amicus freezes, still covering his face, then slowly lowers his paws to reveal his bleary, bloodshot eyes. He stares at me in a way that he's never has before. It's kind of surprised, like Alex had, but rather than fear, Amicus simply looks empty, numb. Are you okay? I reach out, but Amicus turns his head away. Away with you, ghost! Enough of your torment! He keeps his head turned away, eyes closed. Ghost? Amicus, it's me! I reach out to grab his face, and that seems to shock him as he jumps and turns to look me right in the eye. I can tell that he's drunk, very drunk, but there's an extra distant look in his eyes that I don't like. Amicus, what are you on? Did you take something? I hold his big head steady, feeling the fullness of his cheeks in my hands, looking into his familiar eyes, no matter how glazed and unfocused they are. I find myself throwing my arms around his neck and leaning into his body, the reality of the situation crashing down on me all at once. Amicus gasps into my ear, as if my touch suddenly makes him realize that I'm real, that I'm here. Clumsily, he starts to stand up, pulling me up with him. It's difficult because I don't let go, almost getting lifted off my feet, literally, before I settle on letting go for just a moment to hug him lower, around his body, pressing my head to his chest, hearing his heart hammering inside. Finally, he's able to get a grip on me and push me away despite my intention to cling to him forever. He holds me at arm's length, staring at me. I clutch his paws on my shoulders, staring up at him, feeling my eyes start to water. Is this possible? No, please. I can't handle another hallucination. His expression keeps morphing from hope to awe and awe to devastation. I feel his paws grip into my shoulders tightly, almost painfully, as if to make sure I'm real. It's me! I woke up in the garden for some reason. I'm okay. I want to hug him again, but he keeps holding me away, looking me up and down, pushing my hair back and feeling my crusty skin. But, but how? I don't know. I just remember having crazy dreams, and then I was in the garden. As I'm talking, I think Amicus is finally believing it's me, and notice that his body is starting to sway in a worrying manner. Amicus? I reach out to steady him, but as I do, his eyes roll back, and I realize there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to keep a wolf over twice my weight from toppling over. I try anyway, wrapping my arms around him as Amicus falls backwards, his bulk pulling me down with him before he falls back first onto the bedside table, sending bottles flying with his upper back, and his head smashes into the wall. Ouch! My fall is absorbed by his much softer front, but the sound is loud, the room shaking and probably waking up the entire palace. Waking the wolf up the second time is a lot easier, probably because he fainted rather than passed out from too much wine. We're at least able to move onto the bed where Amicus sits cross-legged, pulling me onto his lap and just holding me there, his paws moving around my body, still trying to make sure I'm real. For a moment we don't talk. The wolf just presses his nose to my hair and breathes in deeply. I feel a little self-conscious, knowing I must not smell very good right now, but that doesn't seem to bother Amicus as he goes on pressing his nose to my head and neck, taking in my scent. Finally he does speak, but it's one word. How? I turn my head toward the wolf, resting my cheek against his neck. I don't know. I don't really even know what happened to me. You got sick. So sick. You were having convulsions, brain and nerve damage. It was terrible. Amicus's arms tighten around me, his voice, normally deep and strong, now sounding weak and broken. This statement worries me, though, and I have to wonder if I really am better. There seems to be patches missing from my memory, and I do feel different, like I'm not fully myself, but I don't really want to think about that right now. I think I remember a little bit from of that. I had I lift my arm, showing Amicus the shiny crusty scabs on my arm. It was Avapox. I can't believe I didn't consider the possibility of disease and illness for you. I'm just so used to the idea that any new arrival in Adastra going through that process. Obviously, we did a bit differently. Yeah, and honestly, I'm not even sure how to have you do it. I don't know if you'd react differently to those vaccinations. Each species has their own customized cocktail, and Avapox isn't included in the vaccination set. It's such a mild virus, we've never seen anyone react to it the way you did, even other primates. I think back at how quickly I became sick, how quickly I almost died. I notice Amicus looking down at me again, and I look back up at him. What? He shakes his head. I'm just still trying to make sure you're here, that you're real. I'm afraid if I let go, even if I look away, you'll disappear. His arms tighten around me again, squeezing a huff of breath off me. I'm here, I promise. Ugh, I've had a lot of hallucinations. Too many stress tablets, I think. Stress tablets? Yes, quite a few of them, in fact. With wine? Oh, yes. Amicus! I really don't know what these stress tablets are, but I imagine mixing space Xanax with alcohol is a horrible idea. Amicus doesn't seem bothered by my reprimand, though, instead just snuggling closer to me, his crusted face fur prickling against my skin. I love you, Marco. Aww. I get that familiar swooping feeling in my chest, like I'm on a roller coaster. I clutch onto his arms. I love you too. Amicus sighs and sets his chin on my head. I thought I'd missed the opportunity to say it. I still can't believe you're real. Well, I am, I promise. But I still don't understand how. This shouldn't be possible. You were declared to be in a permanent coma, no brain activity. I had to set you out in the garden and only hope for a miracle. Miracle? Amicus lets out a shaky sigh, running his fingers through my hair. When a sapient falls into such a state, we simply let them fade away in a peaceful setting, or possibly recover if the parent allows it. I sat out there for a while, but couldn't bear to see you waste away, so came back to my room to drink and prepare for the emperorship. I imagine Amicus laying those flowers around me, and I feel my heart break a little. Did did the parents come to you? Is that why you're here? Oh God, that's Amicus speaking. Excuse me. Did did the parents come to you? Is that why you're here? I had hoped that they would. I shrugged. I really can't remember much. It does not matter. My prayers were answered. Praise the gods. Amicus starts to smother me again with his hugging. Little bits of imagery from my dreams are starting to come back to me. Something that happened in space. Someone talking to me. and judging by the only human I know, your people are full of surprises, but we could figure it out later. I just want to hold you right now. Okay. And Marco? Yeah? Please try to avoid mentioning that I lost consciousness when I saw you. Of course. So we sit there for a while longer while Amicus just sort of cuddles with me. After about an hour, we decide to move into the shower, considering the state we're both in. We shower together, take a turn scrubbing each other. The hot water really brings life back to my limbs, or back into my limbs, and those worrying tingles have faded to the point where I'm barely noticing them now. Barely noticing them now. Blah. My English, I swear. Sometimes I think I have a speech impediment issues. Amicus gently rubs on my crusted skin, and we're both surprised to see it come away, exposing new, embellished skin underneath. And back to censoring. Oh, God. Should be used to this by now. Incredible. I never knew humans healed at such a rate. Yeah. I don't know if that's really the case, and my mind continues to wander back to those vague, hard-to-remember dreams I was having. Meanwhile, Amicus leans back against the wall as I rub soap into his front, smiling gently as I lather up his chest. I can tell he's fairly drunk, but that doesn't stop his... that doesn't... Why am I having trouble saying it? Probably because it's YouTube. I can't say the things that I want. I can tell he's fairly drunk, but that doesn't stop his cock from becoming more fully erect between us, which I just pretend not to notice. His eyes widen as he suddenly realizes something. Wait, did anyone else notice you? I pause, both my hands cupping his sizable pecs. Yeah, actually. Alex was in the garden and I talked with him. Just Alex? Yeah. Oh, Alex is going to snitch. He's going to tell everyone that Mark is alive. That we're alive. Oh, great. Amicus seems to relax a bit. What did he say? He just seemed really surprised. Unsurprising. But he was acting a little weird. Amicus shrugs. He keeps things to himself for the most part. I'd be worried if you ran into Cato, or Cassius especially. I need to think of a way to explain this to them. This simian guy is becoming harder to keep up. I'm about to mention more about Alex's demeanor, but that's when Amicus just starts hugging me again. We don't want to know about this. Amicus is just hugging me again, his dick hot and firm, crushing between us as he does. Okay, I'm starting to get a little uncomfortable. I don't care though, and Amicus doesn't seem to either. I don't understand any of this right now, but as long as it's real, I don't care. I feel so good like this. His wet fur slicked it down tightly to his thick body, which presses against me perfectly. Amicus finally shuts off the water, and we're blasted with hot air. That was a transition. That didn't look that good. I'm sorry. He was here. Frey wanted there. Boop. He's gone. I'm dried in less than a minute, and I stumble out to try to fix my poofy hair in the mirror while Amicus stands in the shower stall for a little while longer. After a few minutes, I watch him step out and come up behind me to nuzzle my ears, embracing me once again. He really can't keep his paws off me, but I completely understand why. He starts nudging me out into the bedroom, before turning me around to face him, lowering his face to mine, and I finally realize where this is going. Oh, uh-oh. I don't like where this is going either. It feels so sudden, especially after everything that's happened. I think we could use more time to adjust, but I kiss back anyway. We kissed a few times before, but only with our lips. Now his tongue presses against my mouth, and I only hesitate for a moment before letting it in. His thinner, longer tongue caressing mine with surprising nimble strength. I thought it would be kind of hard to make out with the way his muzzle is shaped, but Amicus makes it happen, his whip clasping around my mouth as he kisses deeper. Is this really... I'm just saying, I know... What am I trying to say? Is this the best time for this? I don't want to be, like, insensitive or anything, but still. I'm amazed at how bold he's being, and one of his main is because he's still pretty inebriated. He cradles my head gently, walking me backward slowly, his cock poking against my groin and thighs occasionally until I come up against the bed. Gently he lowers me to the rest of my back, both paws coming to press on either side of my shoulders while he looms over me, grinning before he pauses. Is this okay? I think. I mean, are you okay? We could wait until tomorrow when you're less... drunk. He grins again. I've been wanting to do this for so long, to show you how much I love you. Amicus leans down, nuzzling my neck. I thought I'd missed that chance. I can't tell you how dark these past 3 days have been. We've been out of commission for 3 days. Confirmed. I I ran out of tears yesterday. Amicus looks away for a moment. I'm not going to miss that chance now. I reach up and hold his chest. I reach up and hold his head steady again before I lean up to kiss him. This may be alcohol fuel, it may be something, but after everything that's happened, after what Amicus has been through, I want us to be able to do this before anything else happens. Um, this. Oh, oh God. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show this if anything just happens. So I'm going to continue on, and if I feel like something is going to happen, and if I feel like it's too adult rated, I'm saying this because YouTube standards, and then I unfortunately am going to have to skip this and jump forward into the part that there's an aftermath of the obvious sex that's about to happen. I guess I don't know what specifically is going to happen. So if anything does happen, I'm going to have to skip it because I can't. I don't feel like getting this video demonetized or age restricted. You know what I mean? So if anything else happen, just expect a jump cut. I might leave some parts in because depending on how tame it is. But if it does get to a part, then I will upload this part somewhere else. He huffs loudly through his nose, the burst of hot air tickling my face as he falls to the bed, rolling to the side to put me up on top of him. His massive, soft body cushions me like it always does, rising and falling with his quickening breaths, his kissing becoming more and more aggressive as he lets out little growls and snarls. Yo, it's not the other reservations I had about having sex with an alien will fall away at that moment. After everything that's happened, especially after almost dying, I just don't care anymore. We grind against each other, both of us hard, and now we just explore each other's body, his giant paws sliding up and down my sides while I do the same to him. Eventually, I sit up, straddling his waist, looking down at him, just sort of taking him in. Again, he has that silly grin on his face, his paws on my thighs, knitting at the skin and muscle. You're beautiful. I prefer handsome, thank you. That just makes me laugh. Beautiful? Well, you're adorable. Amicus raises an eyebrow. I'm not sure that's the correct descriptor of the next emperor of Adastra. Ah! I lean forward and aggressively rub his belly, his weak spot, immediately neutralizing his snark as his paws flop back above his head, eyes almost rolling with pleasure before he squeezes them shut. He rises and aches around my hands, leaning into the ropes as I slide my hands up to his chest, then all the way down to his lower stomach. When that happens, I feel his dick jump against my rear, making me realize how hard I am getting him. Oh, I'm so unprofessional. Well, you can say you can say one. I'm a little nervous because again, YouTube, and two, this is me just being very immature. Okay, I'm getting the same way that I make the strong, thick body below me undulate with pleasure. These fancy words. His head rolls from side to side, tongue flopping back and forth, and when I giggle at him, that seems to finally bring him out of his trance. He growls and grips my hands. That is cheating. With that, he rolls me over, easily reversing our positions as he mounts me, pinning my hands above my head with one paw. Oh, not again. This is Puck New all over again. With his other, he tries to rub at my stomach, which makes me laugh and squirm until he finally lets off. That that doesn't work on primates. Seemed like it worked well to me. He lets go of my hands and leans down to nuzzle at my face, his cold nose exploring my chin, cheeks, and forehead. He then starts to adjust his position before he suddenly stops, looking up at me. His ears lower, and I can tell that he's embarrassed. What? Do you humans, for males, do you go through, the rear? Oh, I think about that. That would be the expected route, but looking at Amicus's length, the wolf follows my gaze and looks even more embarrassed. We don't have to. I don't want to hurt you, of course. I prop myself up on my elbows, looking between the two of us. Yeah, maybe some other time. You're kind of thick. Amicus smirks. Thank you. He starts adjusting himself again, squatting as he sort of waddles up so that our dicks are parallel to each other. What is happening right now? Yeah, thinking around at this part, if I haven't already, this is probably the part that is going to get cut out. What we're about to see, be warned, viewer discretion is advised. Maybe this? He slowly lowers himself until we make contact. Okay. This is. I don't think this is that tame, but I'm I'm not taking any chances, especially with YouTube standards. So, yeah, the feeling. Excuse me. The feeling and slight of its electric. What the what? Did I just have a stroke? The feeling and sight of it is electric. The hot flesh of his cock pressing against mine firmly. Out of sight, I feel his furry balls come to rest gently on top of mine, the soft forms molding together easily. Amicus pauses there, smiling down at me gently as he rests both paws to either side of my head. You have to excuse my ignorance. I'm not sure how humans might copulate. He wiggles his hips, causing his length to slide from side to side on top of mine, and I have to stifle a gasp. I I think it's about the same from what I saw. Amicus frowns for a moment as he realizes what exactly it is I'm referencing, but quickly recovers as he leans down to kiss me once again. Once he's finished, I smile back up at him. But yeah, this is fine. I rest my hands on his knees, noticing how he's balancing most of his considerable weight in a squat. Are you comfortable though? That looks like a workout. Kayla works me a lot harder than this, Marco. This same matter? Hey, yo! Amicus frowns again as he realizes how that could be interpreted. I mean, he makes me do a lot of squatting exercises. I'll just consider this extra practice. I like this. Okay, I'm glad that he clarified because I'm looking like, hey, yo, wait a minute. You and Kato do this? Like, hold on a minute. I didn't think Kato was that type of person. Okay. I reach out and feel out the wolf's chest and belly while he speaks, again marveling at how powerful it all is. Amicus chuckles and arches out a bit to give me a better feel, taking deep breaths and puffing out his chest. He shudders at the rub of his nipples, the nubs of flesh hardening instantly. So now that you're comfortable. Tentatively, Amicus reaches down with his left paw and carefully lifts my length from my stomach to press against his. Okay, so, like, the way that this picture is, and the where the text box is, it's kind of sort of censored, but not really. This time I let out a little gasp, being squeezed together like this, sending out joints of pleasure up from my dick and through my body and into my brain. Immediately my skin breaks into those goosebumps and I shiver to Amicus's touch, his gentle but all enveloping paw feeling so good right now. He starts off slowly at first, beginning to jerk us both off in a small, quick motions. I can tell that he's being overly careful with me, so I jerk my hips up against him, encouraging more. He seems to get the hint, and he picks up the speed, giving the two of us deeper, faster strokes that make me grip at the bed sheets on either side of me, staring at the ceiling as I let out soft, panting groans. Amicus gets more and more into it, already leaking all over my own dick as he pumps his paw, bicep bulging with the effort. I've been jerked off by others before, but Amicus's paw really is something else. Mm, I assume it's those friends of yours that you went to with Italy, but that's none of my business. Of course, it's big, but the soft squishy pads on his palm and fingers add to the pleasure, and giving me a texture I've never felt before. The wolf starts to thrust his powerful hips into the stroking, making the bed squeak and shake. Again, his strength is evident in how he practically moves my entire body with each thrust, the idea that he's holding back turning me on even more. I feel his heavy sack bouncing on top of mine. My knees jerk up with each thrust, and each time they do, I feel his large rear end slam up against them, its furry form tight and clenched. I'm getting close. He pants out over my head, a drop of drool dripping down onto my cheek. Hey man, cover your mouth. I don't want to be feeling that. I start to thrust up against him in earnest, wanting to match his climax. At this point, we're both bouncing on the bed with how hard the wolf is humping against me, forgetting his strength in the moment. I don't mind, though, not really caring how sore I am going to be tomorrow as the pleasure overtakes me. It hits me all at once, and I reach out to put a hand against his face, let him know, and he takes that as a sign to let go as well. I feel it in his entire body, the wolf tensing up, muscles tightening, standing out through the furrow on his thighs, stomach, and chest. I see his face, then he balances on the edge of climax, his eyes wide and looking toward the ceiling, mouth hanging open, a look of pure awe. I feel it in his cock too, and at the same time, we were both pushed over the edge. Huh, I thought it'd be much more than that. Hmm, shame. I groan. Something I usually don't do. Humans groan. What did you say? You're not human? But the build-up, the situation, the feeling is all too much. It's drowned out by the sound that Amicus makes, though. He practically sags over me, letting out a bassy, rumbling moan of ecstasy. Hearing the masculine, deep voice making a sound of such pleasure spurs on another spasm from my cock. I think the same happens to Amicus because he suddenly hunches forward again, muzzle right next to my ear, as he groans out again. His hot rush of breath on the side of my face making me shudder. The big wolf continues to thrust against me, and tied with the spurs from his cock, the look on his face now, one of goofy pleasure, his soft tongue drooping out, gripping onto my chest. His climax goes on for several seconds longer than mine, and I watch as he spurts all over my stomach, over and over, until finally he collapses down against me, his fur damp with sweat. I wrap my arms around him as he heaves for breath, feeling his body expand and contract against mine. He nuzzles against my head, his stomach flattening against mine. I guess the mess we've made. We're going to have to take another shower. Even though I'm a bit out of breath, I'm kind of amused at how much Amicus is gasping, sounding like he just ran a marathon. He really put everything into that. You. I hold his head against mine, turning to kiss him on the cheek. Me? You are incredible. Thanks. You're really something too. A good, a good something? A very good something. We lay there quietly for a moment, Amicus propping himself up on his knees and elbows so his entire weight doesn't rest on top of me. How are your legs? Burning. Probably the most intense exercise my thighs have ever been through, but it was worth it. Again, we lay there quietly as Amicus just sort of strokes my hair. I'm still terrified that this is a dream. I hug him more tightly to my body, almost forcing him to fall on top of me. I'm here, and I'll be here in the morning when you wake up. You better, otherwise I'll never forgive you. His speech slurs a bit as he whispers into my ear. I look at him. So, exactly how drunk are you? The wolf shrugs, rolling off of me, cold air hitting the fluids on my stomach. He says, I don't know. Back to this again. I'm fairly sober now. Shall we wash up? He reaches out a paw and I take it, slightly surprised that he pulls me up to be carried in his arms, like I'm his new bride. Please don't make me wear another dress. We go to the shower and wash up again, even more slowly than we did the first time. When we come back to the bed, Amicus continues to dote over me, hardly ever letting me go at any point. I can tell that he's legitimately worried that this isn't real, and I feel the same way. After everything that's happened, this doesn't seem possible. Eventually, I lay in the bed next to him, and he spoons me tightly against his body. He's extremely warm, but with no blankets, and the cold air drifting down on top of us is perfect. Pretty soon, I'm drifting off to sleep, listening to the wolf's soft snores in my ear. Thankfully, I don't dream. Okay, this is a good stopping point. So, yeah, that all just happened. So, we pretty much had well, Marco just had an out of body experience, and I guess that being that interacted with us is a parent, and they're pretty much just like, it's not your time yet. Go back, finish the mission. And Marco was considered dead, comes back to life, and had a very intimate moment with Amicus that may or may not be in the video. That's going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much for watching and reading along. This has been literally a trip, and so I'm curious as to what's going to happen next time. Now that Marco is back alive, and also considering what the third trial is going to be, because we also have to look forward to that as well. Because remember, Amicus thinks that Cassius is going to, you know, not participate because of how frail his body is thanks to his mom's disease. But as I stated, he's probably still going to fight, and things are going to happen. What's going to happen? I'm excited to see. So if y'all like if y'all like Adastra, if y'all like the way and I'm reading this, please let me know. I'm still invested. I'm all in now. That's apparent from like 10, 11 of these. I lost count. But anyway, share with your friends, share with your family. Check out all the other content that I've done. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. Check out all the other content. And make sure to add me on Twix, add me on Blue Sky, add me on DeviantArt, add me on Steam, add me on Twitch, add me on all kinds of stuff. And so, this is Master Guil, and I'll see you on the next part of Adastra.